So today on Idiot Go Running, we have Andy. Say hello, Andy.
Hey, how's it going?
What's that noise?
There's the bell.
On our show, we've got a guest who likes to run. Do they really? Do they jog around the place just for fun? That's not fun. Are they a professional athlete? Nope. Lining at the start with the elite. It don't matter. We've got a guest on our show because we asked and they didn't say no. It don't matter because our show has a guest. It does. Pretty much because we asked and they said yes. Well, Andy, how are you?
I'm good. I'm at work and on a prep period, so I can do this. So I'm doing really good.
Thanks for taking the time. And are you getting lunch okay? Are you getting food okay?
Oh yeah, we had lunch about 50 minutes ago. So
good, because I don't want to interview anybody who's hungry and who wants to eat, because that always goes the wrong way, in my opinion.
I'm an ultra runner, so I'm always hungry. So
yeah,
I'm
I hear you.
That hungry right now.
Awesome. So, Andy, why have we asked you to come on and have a chat? Pretty much because you are an ultra runner, you do big distances. So tell us a bit about your journey or how you got into it. And give us a bit of background on yourself.
Okay. So I actually didn't get into running until 2010. Before I started running, I was a pack-a-day smoker for over a decade, heavy drinker, and really, really, really poor diet. Ate fast food a lot. And then on February 1st of 2010, I got slammed in the face with a multiple sclerosis diagnosis from my doctor. And he said, you need to fix what's going on in your body as far as your health, if you want to be able to live a normal life. And me being the attention deficit person, I take things to the extreme. And so I quit smoking cold turkey, changed my diet, and started running. And here we are, 10 years later and running ultras. I started really slow. I started with that run a minute, walk a minute start. I mean, I literally was at zero, and then built my way up and had a coworker who was into triathlon, and he made the comment like, hey, you should do triathlon. And I said, okay. So I started doing triathlon for a few years, literally. And he was like, well, you should do Ironman. I was like, okay. So I got into Ironman and triathlon for a bit. And then in 2020, during the pandemic, I really started training for ultra distance, because it was I had one child and one on the way. I found that it was a little easier to just go out and run instead of doing 3 different sports. And then I just kind of progressed from there. And so that's kind of my background. I was really super unhealthy before I started running and kind of went from there. That's the short answer.
Andy, because for people who might listen to the show, you and me have actually connected through Matt Nags. So Matt Nags has a Running with MS page. I jumped on the page and said, guys, I'm going to run the length of Ireland. Do you mind me advertising, Matt? And Matt said, no problem. And then I seen you were doing long distance stuff as well. So you probably thought, there's another idiot over in Ireland who's doing long distances. Now, my pre-MS, I wasn't a smoker, but Andy, 3 kebabs a week will put on a wee bit of weight. So yeah, like I used to be sitting in work and my wife rang me and she goes, Colin, what do you want for dinner tonight? And I was thinking easy dinner with 3 kids. I said, get the kids food, get them something from the supermarket, stick it in the oven, and we'll get a kebab. It was so bad, Andy, that the kebab shop, I used to just ring up and give my name. I used to say, good man, and they used to have my order ready. That's how bad it was. So we both have similar backgrounds, and sometimes MS comes and it sort of gives you a kick up the backside. And what I love about you, Andy, you took it and you actually tweaked it into a positive. And how you feeling these days?
I'm great. I was actually thinking about it on my run this morning, because I'm waiting to start a second tract of medication, because I'm on a kind of a less known medication that we do. Basically, we take 5 pills, or we take pills for 5 days, and then a month later take pills for 5 days, and then a year later we do the same situation, and then we don't take anything anymore. So it basically wipes out your whites, and then it replaces with good ones. And I was thinking about it because I'm waiting to go with this, and I'm like, gosh, how am I feeling? I'm great. I don't even think about MS 95% of the time at all. Um, but I also changed. I mean, we made so many changes, like you were talking about with like getting kebabs all the time. We don't get fast food anymore. I'm 100% plant-based at this time or at this point. And so I think that diet and health has been a huge thing on MS to help it out personally. But
Yeah, because I 100% agree with you. So I went through a weird paleo diet stage where I didn't cook anything, I didn't eat, I ate everything raw, and it wasn't really sustainable for me. And then I went pure vegan, and I was eating vegan, and then I did all the running, and I was struggling to get this protein into my body. So I then introduced eggs, and I now have eggs and salmon. So I would say plant based more than that. But I was on your Instagram, okay, and I have an issue. You said something looked nice, and you had this bag, and it had this brown square in it, okay. And do you know what it is? I think you were trying like a sushi roll or something, and it was in a bag. Do you remember that post?
it wasn't. Was it a long time ago?
It was a while ago, yeah.
I wonder if it was the musubi I make.
I think this was for trialing it for when you were running.
Oh, yes, there it is. Yeah, no. So I I make we eat a lot of Thai food and a lot
Yeah,
of like Asian based food because it's easier to make a lot of that stuff plant based.
and it tastes
Um,
great.
and it tastes wonderful and you can eat it forever and ever. But I really like those like Thai salad rolls that have
Okay.
some of the glass noodles and tofu and some veggies in them. And I do a tofu. I hate to say spam, but it's kind of like I make a really it's a good tasting tofu, and I use rice.
Yeah.
And then because when you're running, you can't have a sauce to dip in because you got to dip them in sauces. And so I mix the rice with the sauce I like, and then just put some cucumbers
Mm-hmm.
and carrots on it, and just roll them in rice paper. And so like when I was doing my last race, I had like four of them in my vest and just
And
snacking
how
on
how
like
how do they travel? How do they travel? Do they travel? Do your hands get? I suppose you don't really care if you're out on the trail and your hands get messy. How do they travel?
they travel all right. I think I'm going to try double wrapping them next time, just because with the just and then I wrap them in like cellophane and
Yes, yes.
so like
You
plastic
don't
wrap.
just you don't have these tofu things in your pocket that are all and people are like, going, "What are you doing?" And it's like manky sauce dripping down your
Yes, yes,
sides. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I should have said yes. It's in like a packet. It's in some sort of
yeah.
packaging. It's not just you don't just carry raw tofu wrapped
No,
in. No, you don't do that.
depends on
Well,
how deep into a race I am. If we're at my hour 24, maybe.
you have recently finished 100 mile. Is it exactly 100 mile? Is it over 100 mile? Because I had this issue with our 100 mile race. It was 107.21 I did.
Well,
What
that's
was your
me.
Yeti 100?
It was 100.3.
So it was
So
quite
it,
accurate.
it was yeah because it had multiple out and backs, so they were able
Okay.
to really lock in that distance.
What was the elevation like in that one?
It was flat. It was 2,500 feet total.
Oh, was it?
So
And what was the terrain like? Was it because I was flicking through Instagram and I watched your, I suppose it's your photo montage you had of it.
yeah,
So I watched it and I thought, that looks nice. It was going through trees, it was going through forests. Was it generally like your pictures pretty much?
yeah. So it's and I don't know if they have them in Ireland, but we have rail trails. So they take old
Okay.
unused train lines and
Hmm.
they take out the tracks and then they basically gravel them with like limestone. And so it was rail trails. So it was never so steep that a train wouldn't have been able to get up it. So it
Hmm.
wasn't even bad climbs, but it was like easy gravel the whole way. My biggest complaint is I didn't wear gaiters to keep gravel out of my shoes. So it was
Giving you bother.
very easy. It's just a great easy terrain to run on, and it was beautiful because we had mountains on one side. I mean, we ran through a 2 mile long tunnel. Well, it was about almost I'd say it's about a 4 kilometer long tunnel because it's 2.5 miles long that goes
Wow.
underneath the mountain that is a ski resort. So it's beautiful. It was like, I mean, the whole time I was like, wow, this is so great, because it's, you get wrapped around your scenery.
Going through a tunnel, I suppose at nighttime that was jet black.
We went through during the day. You went 21 miles down, and I'm sorry, I don't know my kilometer transition, and I apologize.
It's okay. Go with miles. Wait. I'm happier with miles, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, so it's 2.5 miles down, or you go 21 miles down, and within the first quarter of a mile, you go into a two and a half mile long tunnel. And it's straight, so it's during the day, but you can see the end. 2.5 miles away, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel that never gets closer. I mean, like you're running along, it's like it's not getting bigger. It's not getting because you start to get a little leery about, like, I'm under a mountain, and I don't know if you know this about where we live over in the Pacific Northwest. We're on a very large earthquake fault, and so your brain starts to play that game with you where you're like, are we going to have that 9.0 earthquake? And while I'm in the tunnel, and then finally it starts to get bigger and bigger. So it's a total trip, and then we turn around 21 miles down a hill, and then go back through it at mile 40, like 41 is where we go. Well, I guess we go into it at mile 38. Wow. Yeah, it was fun. I thought I'd be scared of it, and I had a great time.
So was this your first 100 mile?
Yeah, it's my first 100. I did 100K last year, and then I've done a lot of 50Ks before that, and then 140 miler. But yeah, this was my first. We're going to go do this and see if I fall in love with it, which if you'd asked me at the finish line, I would have said, yeah, I'm in love with it. Like this is my distance now. So, which is exciting.
Wow. It's class. And so what's your next thing? Would you go back and do that one again? First question, would you go back and do it again? And second, do you want to explore something else? For me, it's all about the adventure. It's not about the time. It's just about the adventure and the people. And if you find people that put on an amazing race, and you can tell that they're runners creating these races for runners, it just makes such a big difference. So would you go back and do it again? And what's your next big race, next challenge?
Yes, I would go back and do it again, as long as I had my one crew guy with me. Because crew guy, I had one crew guy who his trail name is Burger Guy, because he basically sits at aid stations and cooks burgers for people, hamburgers for people. While
can I get him on the show?
Right, we could. I mean, he would totally do it. He's actually starting to train for his first ultra, and I've had him for a couple of races. And no, it's all right. He and I'll trade off. But if I can have him, I would love to have him back at Yeti, just because Yeti's, it's not a cult, they say. But they say it's not. But I love that environment. I'm not probably going to do it this next year. Cause I've got Dia de la Muertes, which is the Day of the Dead race.
Yes.
On the 1st of November, which is a 2 1/3 mile loop. And I'm going to do the 48-hour race. So I'm going to run around in circles for 48 hours. Because I'm crazy.
Yeah. Do you have to dress up for it? Put on face paint?
No.
Is there glow in the dark stuff?
No.
There's no. Surely there has to be some Day of the Dead stuff going on.
Oh, there is right at the start finish, but not throughout the course, because it's on a state park. So they can't really do that stuff out on the state, but there is at the start and finish line. Yeah, at the main aid station, there'll be tons of it. I won't get dressed up because I won't, because I don't.
That's a good enough reason why.
Weird. This outfit is chafing me in weird places.
And your skull is going to end up just looking like, I don't know. Do you know the band Kiss?
Yes. Yeah, right.
So if you start off with a skull, you'll end up like Kiss. So
yeah, exactly.
So I suppose it's not the smartest thing to do. I don't know. I would do it if I was you. I would go all in. But that's 48 hours of a 2.5 mile loop, you said?
Yeah.
So what's the plan? How do you keep yourself sane? Or
I did, so my 100K that I did was 24-hour, and I quit at 20 hours, but it was a 24-hour 1 mile loop. and
Wow.
you meet people, you talk to people. I like it because I'm a social runner. With Yeti, it
Yeah.
was on that 100-mile run. It was like, I'll talk to anybody I'm running with. I actually, for that 100-miler I just did, it was like 3 a.m. I was falling asleep while running, which if you've ever experienced that, you know it's a total trip. And I thought I was hallucinating because this dude ran up next to me wearing a court jester hat
Course,
and
of
started
course.
talking to me, and a suit. I mean, he was wearing a court jester hat and a suit, and he started talking to me. And I thought I was totally full on hallucinating. And then I realized who it was. His name's Ed the Jester, and he's like a world record holder, like for 100-mile runs. And
Really?
we talked for like 3 hours.
Dressed
So
dressed like that, or
yeah,
like actual
well, I mean,
like, yeah.
no, I mean he dresses like that sometimes, but no, he has his records are like for the most 100-mile races in a year. He's like 61 years old, so like most in a lifetime.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and you would never know it. He's just a cool guy. So I like the social aspects of these races, and so when you're running
Yeah.
around in loops, you start to get to know people, and then you just have conversations. I listen to audiobooks, so
Okay.
I'll my wife will suggest, or I'll pick some book that's like 32 hours long and just plug
And you'll
in.
be done. Favorite audiobook? What is it? If you had one audiobook to listen to and it was your last audiobook, what would it be?
I don't know. That's a really hard
I've
question.
I've never
I
heard of
have
that one. Is it good? What are you joking?
Yeah, it's great. I do a lot of like just random stuff. I'm trying to think. I could give you a series.
Go for it.
The Ranger's Apprentice series, which is a YA, so a young adult book, not like adult book, but just like for like
Yeah.
teens.
Yeah.
Definitely not that. But it
No. Like Twilight
that
or
series,
something. I don't know.
yeah, only not as dumb.
As
Um,
not as cringy.
it's not as cringy, yeah. But the author it's a big series, and it's easy to
Hmm.
listen to, and I kind of
Yeah.
like that style, like that fantasy style. So
Yeah.
I can listen to it for hours and hours and hours and just truck through it. But I've already listened to like all 28 books 3 or 4 times, so that I'm not going to go back to that one for a while. I have actually another one that I could listen to over and over and over again, and that's Running with Sherman.
Running with Sherman. What's that about?
It's about a guy who is a runner, and he moves to Amish territory in America, and
Okay.
he finds out about a race where you race with a donkey, and you have to train your donkey to run with you, and it's like a 100-mile race.
Is this
And
legit, or is this a
it's
fantasy
legit. It's
one?
a real thing. It's a real
It's
thing, and
okay.
I can't remember the author of it. But I love that book. It's such a good book, Running with Sherman, and
Um,
it's a great book.
my book, George Orwell's 1984.
I should listen to that again.
It was just it was so trippy. The way it was wrote, everything about it, it was just something absurd. And I came away feeling weird afterwards. I can't explain the feeling how I felt, but I was just came away going, such a weird book. And I'm gonna actually put your donkey racing book in my auto. Is it on Audible?
Yes, and it's read by the
Yeah.
author. I also listen to, like, if I'm interested in something, and I want to start learning more about it, I'll find an audiobook about it. Like
Yeah.
we as a school, because I'm a school teacher, the Anxious Generation is a book that has been going around all about Gen Z, and all of their problems because of cell phones and stuff like that. So I just
Yeah.
finished that one, and it was hard to listen to because it's kind of scary. Like, and it's all database stuff, and it's like, oh wow, our kids are kind of messed up, because of certain,
Yeah.
the cell phone thing, but like, so like if I hear about something, like I'm going to read a book about it because I'm going to go out for a
Yeah.
6-hour run, so I might as well listen to a book, you know.
Because you're funny you said that, because I seen it. It's like all the yellow balls. I seen that on you actually posted it on your on your Instagram page, and I thought that must be a good book because your Instagram page, is actually full of your running, some food, and this book. So it must be a good book. Oh yes, cats. Cats. We will actually come to cats now because that's another thing I wanted to ask you. So you also had a video of cats and this cat and that cat. Do you have loads of cats? Do you take in stray cats? Is there cats around your area? Do you just love cats?
Yeah. So my wife and I live near a wetlands, and about a year ago, about a year ago, we realized we had about 17 feral cats living in the wetlands.
Okay.
And we started feeding them because my wife and I love animals, and we did that. And then on October 7th, one of them just decided to come into our garage. And we're like, okay. And my wife and I had a cat when we first got married. She lived to be 14. And she passed away a couple years ago. And we were like, okay, maybe it's time to get a cat. And so we took him in. He's like the most docile, gentle cat. And then another cat we took in because of a cat sitter issue. We have a thing called Feral Cat Coalition near us, which basically we trap the cats and they spay and neuter them, and then they clip their ears to show that they've had their shots and that kind of stuff, and then you re-release them. So we did that one day where we trapped 8 cats. We gave a few away to friends, and basically we took all these feral cats and they got either adopted out or killed. We had a couple that got hit by cars because we live in a busy area. Then when it all came down to it, this winter we brought another one in because he was basically freezing outside. And then a couple months ago, we brought in one last one because it was a brother-sister, and her brother had either disappeared or died or something, and she became very lovey. So now we have 4 indoor cats that were all part of the same feral colony. And then we have 4 outdoor cats that are still feral. We just feed them, and we have little houses outside for them. But we just kind of took on these cats, and they're awesome. They're the best animals I've had cats my whole life. They're the best cats I've ever had because it's weird, and they just kind of hang out.
My brother, if you've listened to the show, he's maybe not the best trainer in the world, but he has a natural talent for running. But he just doesn't train. He just turns up. He loves the adventure. And Andrew has a question.
Recently, you completed the Yeti 100 miles. Absolutely fantastic achievement. Congratulations. But what I want to know, what the listeners want to know is, did you see a Yeti? During those 100 miles, did you see a Yeti? If you didn't see a Yeti, imagine that you did see a Yeti. What would you do? What would you say to the Yeti? Let us know.
I did not see a Yeti. The only Yeti I saw was the one on the buckle that we got at the end. But living in the Pacific Northwest, where we are known for Yetis, we actually, I have spent time out in the woods and run into people who have government grants to hunt the Yeti, to find the Yeti, and to get proof of the Yeti. That is a true story. I would not say anything. I would slowly walk away because as somebody who spent time in the woods around large animals, I don't think I would want to endanger myself with one of them unless they talked, and then I'd be like, hey man, you want to go for a run? Because they're tall and they can probably run. So you just go on a jog.
I honestly, Joe, I honestly thought you were going to say you would feed the Yeti, you would bring it in, and you would probably clip its ears, spay and neuter him, and then you'd have a house Yeti, which not many people would have.
I don't think they get along with the cats. And also, I might offer him one of my my salad rolls because on a race.
Well,
he might like.
He could be a vegan.
He could be a vegan Yeti.
Vegan Yeti. Do you know what? Who knows? Who knows? I seen your buckle. It looked incredible, and I even love the way they blurred out the Yeti, so you actually didn't see the detail of the. Have you got the buckle? He does indeed. Check out that.
Oh, it is.
That's incredible. And look, this is what I noticed. I thought they've made a really cheap idea to try and put that Yeti on, but they've blurred him out on purpose. Let me see the medal again. Nice. And I suppose last question, was it worth it?
Yes. Yeah, it started my new addiction to even longer runs, because apparently my brain also says 100 miles isn't enough. And that's what 48 hours for. And then next year, maybe, hopefully, I'm going to try and do the Cowboy 200 in Nebraska. So I'm just going to keep going more and more. So.
And I will keep following your story. And if people's going to follow you, where do they find you?
I don't remember my tag. It's Andy David MS Runner, but I can't remember when I wrote it because I don't ever look at it.
That's okay. So you don't care if people follow you, is what you're saying? That's no problem.
No, I would love to. I actually haven't been posting that much lately, just because I haven't. Andy David, all one word, _ MS Runner, all one word, all lowercase.
And you were talking about the 48-hour loop. What's your bag going to look like before I leave you? Just what do you eat other than the sushi rolls?
So I'll probably stay. I use Ultraverse supplements. They're Proxima C for my regular calorie nutrition. I go on liquid unless I want solids. So my solids, I'll have probably the sushi rolls. I might have pizza. We have a really good vegan place that is, their vegan pizza is amazing. So I might just get a large and just bring it down to where the race is. My last 24-hour race, the loop one that I did, I brought vegan hamburgers. So I was like doing loops, like gnawing down on hamburgers and whatever sounds good to me. Like I don't eat well I eat well, but I don't eat healthy when I'm racing for some odd reason. Cause
they're really eating contests with a bit of running involved. I love burgers. I got the vegan, plant-based burger from McDonald's when you were running, but I could murder a pizza. Do you use vegan cheese or do you just do no cheese?
Vegan cheese.
Vegan cheese.
And I make my own pizza, but yeah, we've kind of, my wife and I have developed we've really locked in how we like the cheese. Like it involves blending the cheese and doing all sorts of things to make it work well. But yeah, we build it good.
Yeah, because see, the cheese, I have a real issue. Now we're moving on to pizzas and cheese. I promise I will let you go at some stage.
No, you're fine.
So the cheese, I if you've got time, I don't use cheese. And the reason, and you might be able to help me with this one, because you said about blending cheese and doing stuff with cheese, it always burns. It doesn't go stringy. You put it under and it just burns. So I end up, for people who do want it, which I kind of stay away from, as long as you have a really good sauce, the pizza's awesome. What is your cheese trick?
We use, I don't know if they have it in Ireland. We use Follow Your Heart cheese.
Okay.
And it's never burned for me. But I also, because we don't have a pizza oven, I bake in my regular oven, and I bake it at like 415 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not super hot. Yeah, I've never had a problem with it. But basically, we just take that and we stick it in like a blender, and we turn it into powder and then put it on because it melts faster that way and a little more.
That's an idea, because I couldn't all the stringy cheese. I suppose it's in the oven, the heat coming over the top of it. The way normal cheese has fats in it that melt and stretch, this just goes brown and tastes like burnt vegan cheese. And vegan cheese sometimes at the best of times doesn't taste the best. And then when you have burnt vegan cheese, it's just you have to really refine your craft. I stay away from the craft. Andy, it has been a pleasure to have you on my evening and your afternoon. Yeah, thanks for coming on the show. Have you enjoyed it?
Yes, I have, and thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun. I don't normally get to do things like this at work.
No, thank you so much for coming on today. It's great fun. It's great to have a chat to you. And would you come on again for us after you finish your 48-hour or possibly the 200 one? And
absolutely.
Happy days, Andy. Thank you so much, and thanks for coming on. Idiots Go Running.